Wow, this is it. The final episode about season 1. What happens next? Do we go to season 2 or just forget the whole thing? I'm not sure. It has been a long journey, this episode 1 of season 1. This is really how my whole life changed before your very eyes. So now we're gonna see what happens towards the end of the episode. Thank you again for joining me. First of all, gratitude. Second, did you subscribe? Did you turn on your post notifications? Are you going to like this video? Oh, you're gonna love this video. They need a love button on there. Okay, here we go. I'm in the studio teaching. Seems like now, all these years later, I'm in the studio teaching. And watching this again. I haven't seen this in so long, and I just made a little realization. Why was a camera on her when she walked in the room? Was this a setup? All these years. For 10 years, I thought it was just some pissed off mother that came to scream and yell at me. But maybe she was set up. Gonna have to find out about that. But anyway, her daughter was chosen to be in this group routine because this is the first episode. So all these people come in, you've watched the first and second episode, you know all about it. The kid was picked to be in an acrobatic routine because I thought, hey, I'm not choreographing for free. These people are crazy. So I chose some other kids that should be in an acrobatic dance were the level, I mean, they weren't fabulous, but they were like the level of the kids that got picked to the show. Bring them in and put them behind the cameras so they can learn the choreography, and then I'll use the dance in the recital. Fine, done, that's what I'm doing. Well, her kid comes in, as you hear me say, in socks, a t-shirt, and her hair down. That's not how we come to class. She knows that. We come in dance wear. It's an acrobatic routine. She should be in her bare feet. It's a safety issue. If she does a back handspring step out, back handspring to one knee, whatever, her feet could slip right out from underneath her. I have the best floors. Ask my staff, my faculty. They teach all over the place now, and my floors, top of the line. And even with that, the kid could slip, fall, break her neck, and whose fault is it? It'll end up being mine, but she should have been dressed correctly. Her mother knows that. Now I send the kid out to come back dressed appropriately. So what does that mean? Take the t-shirt off, find a ponytail holder, get your hair up, and take the socks off. That's all you need to do, 3 things. And then her mother comes in like on the warpath to get me. Here we go. Can I just say something? When that mother went through the den, all those kids that are in that den are brilliant dancers. Some amazing talent right there. That should have been on television, and you should know their names. They should be the household names. Okay, here we go. Children dressed like children. No, they're dancers dressed like dancers. Some of those kids in that room are 18 years old. And I'm looking at the floor, and there's Paige with her cute little haircut that you can't put in a bun, you can't braid it, you can't do anything with it, but it's cute. Cute little haircut with a little thing in her hair, a little flower thing, and she's looking at herself in a mirror and how pretty she is. And this woman's like going off. Jealous. People are jealous. So her kid was not dressed appropriately for dance class, and I know that. When Jesus saw things were wrong, he went after it. I'm Catholic. I don't discuss religion. It's your own thing. You do what you want, but I don't think she's talking about Jesus in the dance wearing the tights and the hair. I come over to her, and she's not gonna play this game with me, and blah, 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 blah. This woman is a minister in a church, and she now goes by the name Sinister Minister. Lines. Every week we put the trash out. Go. She's not trashy, the kid wasn't trashy, I just had to come up with something quick. Now, she puts her hand like on the mats, like she's not leaving. It's my property. I own the building, I own the land that it sits on. She has to go. And on television, there's a lovely shot of a trash can sitting in the middle of the den by the blocks. But the blocks go into different rooms, they have to be there. And I'm looking at the kids that are hanging out because they don't want to go to their next class. They want to stay right here and watch what the hell's going on. It's hilarious. You see me screaming, and I look right at the kid who's standing next to her mother. So I get so angry that this mother came in. But let's remember, the child texted her mom. She got her mother worked up. She stirred the pot. She wanted Mommy Dearest to come in and yell at me. The kid wanted that. Instead of just taking her socks off and putting her hair up and running back into the studio. I mean, come on. I tell kids day after day after day, girls come in, maybe they're not body positive, and they wear a big sweatshirt or a big t-shirt over their dancewear in my class. And I'm like, get the shirt off, get the shirt off. Still, till this day, teenagers come into my class with a big sloppy shirt. I can't see their body, I can't see their rib cage, I can't see their spine if they have scoliosis and I'm doing flat backs. I could see all that, save their parents a fortune. No, no big sloppy shirts. The mirror is either your best friend or your worst enemy. But this was my studio, my rules, my class, my choreography, my dress code. If you don't like it, go somewhere else. You know that whole Burger King thing? Remember? Back in the day, some of you parents watching, you'll know, Burger King, have it your way. McDonald's, 20 billion served. They're not doing it your way. You don't like it? Go somewhere else. I tell this story wrong because I thought that the girls were in a straddle split in the guys in the classroom. And now I see that they're lunging and warming up, but I thought they were in a straddle. Somewhere there's a photo and I'm on the phone with the police and the kids are in a straddle because none of them wanted to move. I know that. They looked at me. It was Emily Barkhart. It was her phone. She gave me her flip phone back in the day. She was cool. She had the phone. So Dr. Holy, she wasn't a doctor yet. Dr. Holy is going to come and calm the woman down as I'm calling the police because I want her hauled out. The woman just said, I can't stand her, but she wants to stay and pay me money. She wants her kid back in the class. Does she realize how ridiculous she sounds? I can't stand her. But you want to pay me more?
She does not have weapons, just her mouth.
Boom. That was the line. So when the officer answered the phone and he said, Officer Broadway, what's your emergency? And I went, Officer Broadway? Man, these people are good. They set this up? No. His name was Broadway, his last name. And then after this aired, his daughter came and took dance from us. So he was the police officer that was on dispatch that night, and he asked me if she had any weapons. And I said, just her mouth. That was the line that changed my life right there. Because when that footage got back to the network, they all were like, who is this? Who is this woman? Meaning me, not the sinister minister. They never had an interview with me. They never had any photographs with me. They never paid a bill with me for the lights, the electricity, you know, the gas, for the heat. No, they just used my building for free. Now, this is the first episode of season 1, but this wasn't actually filmed that way. I believe this was actually the 3rd episode that was shot, but then, you know, they did their TV magic, Hollywood magic, and I think it's the 3rd episode, and they did their Hollywood magic, and they aired it as the 1st episode. Now, we didn't take our crew from Pittsburgh with us to the competition. We hired new people in Phoenix, Arizona, I believe. So they didn't know the dance. They didn't know where the kids entered or exited. So I had the opportunity to stage the number. You don't ever get to do that at a competition. So I don't want you to think that West Coast Dance Explosion was making, you know, arrangements for me to do anything special. It wasn't for the judges, it wasn't for the competition directors or owners. This was strictly for the cameramen because they didn't know who the kids were. There were tons of kids, hundreds of kids at this competition. They didn't know what they looked like or their outfits or anything. So when you see me rehearsing, that's it. So here we are. These little kids from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania are suddenly thrust into the limelight. We're going to Phoenix, Arizona, flying across the country. There's amazing studios in Phoenix. The kids are so talented. And let me just take a break for 1 second and tell you, in Pittsburgh, let's say it's 20 degrees outside, freezing. There's snow on the roads. They're getting icy. The kids come to dance class. Ugg boots, sweatpants, sweatshirt, coat, hat, mittens, all to the dance studio. They have to get all that stuff off. Then they have to warm up their bodies, right? And you're in this huge building. I have 30-foot ceilings. That heat rises right up. So constantly that heat is churning in that building to keep the floors warm. Well, so that's the days I let them warm up with their sweatshirts on and their sweatpants till their bodies are warm. Phoenix, Arizona, those kids wear flip-flops and booty shorts. They jump out of the car, they run into the dance studio, they're ready to dance. Easy peasy. It's not fair, but life's not fair. So now we're up against these kids who are incredible. Here we go. I'm telling grown adult women, use your library voice. They're in the middle of a lobby and they're cackle, cackle.
So with Pampers Cruisers 360?
I can't believe a diaper commercial just came on, like a toddler in a diaper. I guess there was a lot of fucking going on.
You need
$20, take them off. Is this ludicrous that I'm arguing with this woman? We're gonna draw more attention to Paige. Paige has enough pressure on her. She's a sweet, nice little girl. Well, until she sued me for $5 million, but that's a different story. So she's this sweet, nice little girl who had nails on. The child should know to say to the nail lady, the nail tech, I'm sorry, but my mother said French. I don't want French. I just want a nude, plain, little light pink nail. That's it. The kid should know. And if the mother is doo-doo or doo-doo, then the kid has to take over. That's it. There are rules, and not everybody has their nails like that. Still, to this day, I have just been around the country teaching, and I say to kids who have the white nail polish pedicure, it's a big thing now, the white pedicure, they draw so much attention to their feet. And some of them, sick old pigeon-toed. Don't do that. Draw attention to your best asset. And for Paige, that's our face. She's beautiful. We want the eyes up here, not out here at the ends of her arms. When John Corella and Satan were pitching the show, they called me and they needed headshots of kids. Didn't matter which kids, they just wanted headshots to put into the sizzle. Black and white headshots. And I went into my computer in my bedroom and I sent them headshots. We're not gonna get headshots. Spend $30 billion to dance for her. Every check she bounced at the studio. She would write a check, we deposit it, it bounces. She would buy a leotard for $32. And my studio receptionist, Sandy Powers, for 30 years can attest to this. And she'd put $10 on this card and $20 on this card and $2 in cash to buy the kid the leotard. Now I'm grateful that she was shopping in my store and the child always looked immaculate. But don't go around the world on television in 134 countries telling people that you paid me $30 million, because it's a lie, a downright lie. Bad parenting 101. You're in the bar. Now, unless you hired a nanny or perhaps a makeup artist or a dresser that retired from a Broadway show, get in the dressing room and dress your kid. Be with your child. Make sure they're warmed up. Or don't come on the trip. Stay home, send the kids with me like the old days. That was better. Because here you are, loud. We got Tweedledee and Tweedledum sitting here, and now, what are you doing? You're causing a scene. I have to come get you. Now I'm gonna cause a scene, which I don't wanna do. And it's about your children. So I'm worried more about your children than you are about your children. That's wrong. We were at the bar making friends. And Dr. Holly says, I guess that's where you are, as she's hot gluing. That's bad. That picture right there that I froze on this computer right now, that's bad. That's a burn. Maybe you shouldn't have had a few drinks before you're using a hot curling iron in close quarters with children. Did anyone ever think of that? The mother had it flitting around, this in her hand, and the child walked into it. So accidents do happen, but this could have been prevented. And what really bothers me after we got this taken care of, not the pain, the child suffering, that's abominable behavior. That is awful. I've never had that happen to a kid in all my years of teaching, in all my years of traveling with the kids, doing their hair, doing their makeup, letting them do their own hair and makeup, the teenagers. That has never happened. Sometimes kids like burn their forehead or something, but not on my watch, and certainly not a burn like this on her arm. Her crying, that face crying with the gorgeous nails, the French manicure, was used in a clip over and over and over that the network used, making it look like I had burned her and made her cry, or just that I had made her cry. That was wrong. That was not the first time they made me look horrible, and not the last time, certainly. There were many times in between, but I'll tell you what, I had nothing to do with that, yet it looked like I caused the tears. The next thing on this episode is the headpiece falling in her face, because the mother was in the bar. I have already reacted to that trio. It's in one of my very first YouTube videos, so please go check it out and make sure you like this video, okay? Thank you again for watching. I hope you learned some truths that the network didn't reveal. Thank you to West Coast Dance Explosion. How about that? That's the same competition that was in the Mirage Hotel in Las Vegas, where I bumped into John Crella, who then set off on a mission to sell a TV show to pay his bills. Yeah, not mine. See you later.